Breaking news. Amnesty International busts Ahmed Tinubu over government-sponsored killings of innocent citizens in the Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom, Nigeria. Here are the news in details. Wonderful people of Biafra, lovers of freedom all over the world, you are welcome once again to Biafra Unite channel /television this very moment. Today's date is of April 2025, and I have a very important information for every one of you listening to my voice right now from wherever you are all over the world. Dear friends and lovers of freedom, I want you to pay very good attention to this very news because it's very, very important. I can assure you, my people. Amnesty International has busted Bola Ahmed Tinubu's government over the government-sponsored terrorism or terrorist attacks that have claimed thousands of innocent Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom citizens, including Biafran citizens, especially those from some part of old Enugu State and old Ebonyi State respectively, then plus their terrorists in military uniform who are busy massacring innocent women and children in the old Imo State and old Anambra State respectively. Now, without further ado, let us read the news in detail. But before then, I want to let you know that there is a certain reason why I'm recording this very news. If not, I wouldn't have recorded this news. But when we get to that very bridge, we are going to cross it. So pay attention and listen very, very attentively, my people. So I will be reading this very news from one of the Zoo media platforms, Sahara Reporters. And according to their title, they said, Amnesty International condemns rising attacks under Tinubu government as terrorists by 71 Nigerians in 1 week. You are just a joke. Both the Amnesty International that made this very publication and the Sahara Reporters that reported it, you all are a joke. I have my reason of saying that. How could you say 71 Nigerians died in 1 week? While in Plateau alone, the numbers are already over 150. In just 2 days, over 150 in Plateau, in Boko's local government area. Within yesterday and today, is over 150 already. And you are here saying 71. In which yesterday we were counting 135. So I don't know where you got your own number, but this is not even the case. Let's continue. Amnesty International warned that the ongoing violence was creating a looming humanitarian disaster as entire communities were being uprooted and livelihoods destroyed. Wow. Okay. Global human rights body, the Amnesty International, has raised the alarm over a surge in deadly attacks across parts of northern Nigeria, reporting that at least 71 people have been killed and more than 50 others abducted by terrorists within a week. This report is extremely poor. Very, very poor. As we are speaking, how many people are being killed only in the western part of the zoo alone, in Yoruba land, within 1 week? How many people have been reported? What about what is happening in Edo? Only in Edo State. Like, it seems like, okay, let me continue first. I'm going to tell you something. In fact, I will speak to Amnesty today. The reason why I'm making this very report is because I want to talk to Amnesty International. Now, in a statement released on Monday, the Amnesty International detailed a disturbing escalation of violence in rural communities, noting that 52 people were killed in Plateau State, 13 in Kebbi, and 6 in Katsina. Is that all you got? Is that all you got, Amnesty International? Now, the organization also stated that over 50 people were abducted in separate attacks in Katsina State, Over a week, at least 71 people have been died, 52 in Plateau, 13 in Kebbi, and 6 persons in Katsina. Also in Katsina, gunmen have abducted over 50 people. The gunmen on rampage of bloodshed are escalating deadly attacks on rural areas where hundreds are being displaced, the organization stated. Now, Amnesty International, you are being biased. Time has come when you look at the king eyeball to eyeball and speak to the king. In fact, you can even wear a face cap to talk to the king. Amnesty International, I want you to hear me and hear me very loud and clear. You are being biased. I don't know if you have been bribed not to talk about what is going on in the eastern Nigeria again. Let me use that word so you will understand where I'm talking about. In case if you claim not to know anything that called Biafra, or a place or a nation that called Biafra, or even a tribe that called Ndibo. Just as we are speaking right now, Fulani herdsmen terrorists that the Global Terrorist Index have labeled fourth most deadly terror group in the world are currently displacing people in Ehamufu and other parts of Ebonyi State and Enugu, respectively. Buying innocent souls, raising villages, communities, setting houses ablaze, occupying the villages that they raise and chase the indigenous. As we are speaking right now, our women in Ehamufu are protesting, calling on the so-called government to come to their aid, while the government is completely incapacitated. Peter Mba, the so-called governor of Enugu State, is completely incapacitated. He cannot even utter a word. What did he do? This is official now. What did Peter Mba do? Peter Mba sent the king, so-called kings, which I call them political kings. Peter Mba organized village kings and sent them to Sokoto to go and beg Sultan of Sokoto to call his boys to order to stop destroying lives and properties of the people of Ehamufu. This is official. It happened in real life, official just 2 weeks ago. Amnesty International, is it only the northern Nigeria that you know how to talk about? Since 2017, that you made a report about how the Zoo terrorist army and police buried innocent Biafrans in Aba. Since then till today, you have never ever talked about what is going on in the eastern Nigeria again. I'm using that word, eastern Nigeria, so you know where I'm talking about. I don't know if you have been paid or bribed. Amnesty International, have you been paid by Nigerian government that you can no longer make a report about what is going on in Biafra territory again? Just as I'm speaking right now, the Nigerian terrorist army is currently in Okigwe state of Biafra land, or Okigwe province of Imo State, destroying lives and properties. Which you can see the video on your screen right now. This is the current situation in Okigwe. And Amnesty International is completely blind about what is going on. Amnesty International is blind about what is happening in Okigwe. You are not aware of it. How could you know what is happening in Katsina State? How could you know what is happening in Plateau State? How could you know what is happening in Kebbi State? But you don't know what is happening in Imo State. You don't know what is happening in Enugu State. The same period of time that you are giving report of what is happening in northern Nigeria, but you don't know what is happening in the eastern Nigeria. Even Edo State, you don't know what is happening in Edo. It's quite unfortunate. It's quite unfortunate that an international body like Amnesty International, which is held in a very high esteem globally, could be so biased in reporting what is going on in Nigeria. It's quite unfortunate. It's quite unfortunate. I am so ashamed. This is the reason why I'm making this report today. not because of your reportage about what is happening in northern Nigeria or what is happening in Nigeria, or maybe you slam Bola Ahmed Tinubu. That is not my problem. My problem is to remind you that you've been biased for neglecting the impunity of the Nigerian state in the eastern Nigeria here in Biafra territory. You are neglecting it, and it has become so obvious that somebody has to speak up. According to them, they said, Amnesty International warned that the ongoing violence was creating a looming humanitarian disaster as entire communities were being uprooted and livelihoods destroyed. The group criticized the Nigerian government's response to the crisis, saying reported claims of troop deployments and previous military interventions have failed to end the violence or bring perpetrators to justice. Amnesty International stated repeated claims of the deployment of troops to the affected areas by the Nigerian government have yet to stop the violence. Previous military interventions have also failed to end the violence or bring the actual perpetrators to justice in fair trial. In Benue and Plateau states, villagers are always lamenting that they are now feeling helpless and on edge as they constantly brace themselves for the next attacks. The deadly attacks on rural communities are making life hell for villagers. The human rights organization called for urgent and concrete action to halt the violence and protect affected populations, emphasizing the need for justice, accountability, and humanitarian support. Ongoing attacks on rural communities are posing the risk of a humanitarian disaster. The attacks have already caused massive displacement and deprived people affected of their livelihoods. The violence must end now, the statement stressed. You see, this is the official statement here from their X account. Unbelievable. And on that note, I will not continue analyzing or reading further as I am already pissed. I am angry already for even the Zoo media. The Zoo media has blacklisted, stopped, and vowed not to report what is going on in the East anymore. An international organization that should have been of help to bring the plight of the Biafran people to the international stage. How people are being, destroyed, livelihood destroyed, homes razed, villages razed by the Nigerian army. Amnesty International will keep blind eyes, rather telling us what is happening in Kebbi and the Katsina states. It is unbelievable. Thank you, my people. We are going to tell our own stories. As we are telling it now, the world will listen to us, whether they like it or not. The world must listen to us. Thank you, my people. To salo numozia and make it go viral.